Hello everyone, it's Bernina Jeff at High Fashion Sewing. Today we're going to go over some of the new features of the 770 QE Plus, the features of the upgrade. You may have a regular 770 and you upgraded it, or you might have one of the new 770s with the large screen here. So both of them will function exactly the same. When you buy the new machine, you get the large screen. So I've had several customers put the upgrade in or have troubles getting with the upgrade. So I'm going to kind of step you through, once the upgrade is in, what features and functionalities you need to work with. So let's assume that you've got a 770 Plus or you've upgraded your 770 QE to the Plus. And now we've turned it on for the first time. Here's a couple things I want you to do. If you have embroidery, you're going to want to calibrate the embroidery hoop to your embroidery module. And to calibrate that, you need to get your oval hoop, this size. You can do it with the midi, you can do it with your maxi, but we're going to do it with the oval hoop. And you need the grid or the template. And you want the purple template. That's the one for this newer machine. Some of you may still have this orange template, but that is only for the 440 and 430 calibration. So do not calibrate with the orange template. It will not tell the machine the true center of your hoop. So we're going to take the oval hoop and the template. We're going to zoom in here a little bit. We're going to press our settings key. And we're going to go to this center top. This is our embroidery features. And we're going to go into this second one on the left. This is our hoop calibration icon. And it says lower our feed dog, so do everything it says on the screen. It says it's going to move. It's not moving now. It won't move until you hit the green check mark. So make sure this isn't too close to the wall, anything in the way. So it's going to move, and it's going to tell you to put the hoop on now. And I found that if you have the 0 mm template on, there's a hole you can line up to. So now I've turned we're going to look at the screen again. It tells me that the hoop is going to move, so make sure nothing's in the way. Now we put the grid on, and the grid must go to where you can read Bernina at the bottom. And another little quick anatomy of the hoop. If you look at the hoop, it has two little triangles here. They're usually gray. I've painted them in with a Sharpie black. The other good thing to do with your hoop is mark it, whatever it's labeled. Large, oval, you can even put the millimeters in. I think this is 155 by 240. So a lot of times your software tells you to put the oval hoop on or the 155 by 240. It's nice to have it labeled. So these two little triangles have to match. And if they don't, you won't have a calibration. So I'm going to put my hoop back on. It says everything's good on the screen. Then you put your grid on, or your template, and it has to fit in with these little tabs. If you don't have your handles in, you might as well not even do this calibration. You have to have these little tabs in. They have to be in properly. They go into the slots. All right. So now what you do is you look down in here, and that hole needs to be directly in the middle of your plate. That's pretty close, but I'm going to move it just a notch, and that's even closer. So I burped it just one little bit higher. Now, left or right, it's good. You don't want to line up to the hole, this closest hole. It has to be in where the needle goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the needle down to confirm that's dead center of the hole. The trouble with bringing the needle down is you have to make sure it's in exactly the highest point, or otherwise it'll tell you on the screen you have to move your needle. Once I've calibrated my hoop, I hit the green check mark to confirm it, and that's all you need to do. I always recalibrate the hoops whenever I get a new update or even an upgrade. That just tells the machine where the center of the hoop is. If you embroider and you don't get anywhere close to the hoop, you don't have to worry too much. But some of us put an embroidery design right to the edge of the field, and you actually could stitch into the side of your hoop if it's not calibrated. All right, let's go back to our thing. So that is the embroidery setup you need once it's upgraded. Now we're going to come out of here. And our normal sewing, now the 770 Plus has foot recognition. So I've had several of my customers, I can't sew. I have a 1D foot on and it keeps telling me something. So you have to go in and select the foot you put on. So if I put on the 1C, it's already selected. I'm not going to go there. But here is the 20C, or 20D foot. The 20D is in dog. So I'm going to put that on, and see, nothing's changed here. And whenever I put a D foot on, I bring down that upper feed dog or the dual feed mechanism to fit in between the slot while it's in this highest position. So that 20D is on there. Now I need to go and select it. And I could scroll through the pages to where I get 20D. There's my 20D. And see, now it is indicating that I have the 20D foot on. And I can close that. And if I get, it also tells me that I have the feed dogs down. That's because the embroidery unit's attached. So I'm going to raise the feed dogs. And I'm also going to go into my home and go into the sewing mode. And there we go. We've got everything selected what we want. So now let's say we're putting on the 1C foot. If I remove this guy and put the 1C foot on, I'm going to see what's going to happen when I try to sew. Of course, I don't have any fabric. See what happens when I try to sew? It looked at the foot and it knew it wasn't a 20D anymore. You're going to get this with the foot recognition. So I'm going to X out of that. That's 20D. This is 1C. So I'm going to touch here. 1C. X out. And now if I want to sew, it's happy. Okay. So that's another thing that I've had a lot of customers call me about, saying, now I have this feature and how do I get there? And then they say, well, I've got this 97D foot, so I'm going to go into here. And if I go to 97, I got to scroll through 7 pages, and I just hate that. That's way too long. Go to this little 0 through 9 with the magnifying glass, touch it, type in 97, and now it'll bring you right down to the 97 page. Oh, if I want to find the 57, I'm going to go type in back up, 57. Now the 57 features, either 57 or 57Ds available. So that's a quick way to scroll through your feet without having to scroll through every page. So I hope this helps you out. Again, this is Bernina Jeff. Check out my Shopify page. I have a lot of different gadgets and stuff for you. I also have a lot of different videos on how to oil the 7 and the 5 series, and just a big accumulation of videos for tips. My Shopify again is bernina-jeff.myshopify.com. Please call the store too if you want to order something direct from us. It's 970-256-1293. We open at 9:30 a.m. Colorado time. Thank you very much.